We heard from Lucretia Hughes, one of the witnesses put forward by Republicans yesterday. She argued that more laws would not make a difference in reducing rates of gun violence. Here's more from her testimony.
I am a legal, law-abiding citizen, and I don't need the government to save me. I teach people how to use a firearm. I empower others to look at me to understand the Second Amendment is their right. I am a proud member of the DC Project, Women for Gun Rights. We believe that education is the key to safety, not ineffective legislation. We support meaningful solutions that will actually save lives.
And Lucretia joins me live now for more on this. Lucretia, thank you for being here. You know, during your testimony, you said that lawmakers are delusional if they believe more laws will stop gun violence. Can you explain that?
It's simple. It's common sense. If that was the case, with all the laws that are already on the books, then this should be a safer world. This should be a safer cities. There should be safer towns and counties. But we see it's not. And we see that the inmates are running the asylum. We see that the laws are lax and they're not being enforced. We are seeing that the police are even scared to do their jobs around the United States while they shout to defund the police. It is common sense when you walk outside your door to see the hate, harm, and danger that one individual, sick, mental, evil person has for you. So me trying to give up my guns and not being able to protect myself from an enemy, foreign or domestic, is outrageous. And I said what I said.
Now, Lucretia, the Office for the New York Attorney General reported that 70% of likely trafficked guns recovered come from states like Virginia, Georgia, Pennsylvania, and Florida, where gun laws are less restrictive. So Democrats are arguing that gun reform would help solve that problem. Why do you feel it wouldn't?
I'm trying to choose my words wisely because I was raised by a very wise man. He's saying, and he told me, and the stats, when the government is actually, and was at one point, pushing these guns out there in our communities, they got what they got. We can look at Fast and Furious, or we can look at the accidental leaving over 300,000 weapons to a whole nother country. We are supposed to protect ourselves from foreign and domestic enemies, and they're leaving us to a point that where we can't. Putting more laws on the books isn't going to make us safer, and it's not going to help this nation. If the Democrats really, and Republicans, because let's get it together, if they really wanted to do it, they would enforce the laws that are already on the books and not trying to bring in more. What is wrong with the laws that are there right now? They put it on the books for a reason. So they're supposed to be our leaders. They're the ones that drafted these laws. Eventually, they're the problem, not the American citizens. And I'm sorry, when you have free bail and you can get out when you commit a crime, and all these criminals that are running the street and it's rampant in their cities, then that's not the problem. They are the problem. So I am more concerned about those parents, those children, those elderlies, the women and men that want to work every day and go home safely. What are they going to do if they're carjacked, raped, murdered? What is going to happen to them as they're sitting there calling for 911? In most cities, it takes 10 minutes and some don't show up. So who are going to save those people? It is our jobs to be our own first responders. It is our inherent right to protect ourselves and pursue our liberties, our freedoms, and pursuit of happiness. And I don't need anyone that think they're better than me or a leader than me to think that they can know my life better than me. I don't live behind a gated community.
Lucretia, it sounds like you're talking about efforts to take away guns from all Americans.
All of us.
And I understand that that's the concern point that you're coming from, but that's not right now what's being discussed in Congress. So do you see any possibility for any restrictions, any place of compromise for things like red flag laws and more extensive background checks, for example, that aren't aimed at taking away everybody's guns, but maybe making it a little bit harder for some people to get guns?
Most states, you have a waiting period. there are extensive background checks. You have to sit there and you have to submit all the paperwork. They know who you are and what you do. It is not the law-abiding citizens that are the problem. That is the point. We are doing it the right way. It's the criminals on the streets. And I'm going to keep reiterating that. A gun is an inanimate object. So an assault weapon could be my fist. It just depends the pound for pressure. And so I'm going to keep saying it because I am an advocate for the Second Amendment.
I understand that. I just want to ask you a question, though.
Right.
The guns used in Uvalde, for example, in Buffalo, for example, were legally purchased. So I understand you're saying you feel like there are laws on the books that already exist and aren't being enforced. So can you just talk specifically about what those laws are that you think could have helped to prevent those shootings that aren't being enforced?
When you say that they was legally purchased, one thing that the government has been saying, quote unquote, you see something, you say something. So the laws and the warning signals that was out there that he was placing on social media should have been picked up. They watch all of us in the first place. So when you see something and you say something, you report that person.
But say something is not a law.
Anything. Yes, actually they can. We could take Parkland. That person right there was called 30 times to your house, and the cops don't step in and do something. That's a problem. If there's warning signs all over that guy's Facebook page, that's a problem. So there was people that was reporting these people, but no one stepped in and did anything.
So what changes would you like to see?
This is a mental health issue, and then maybe the mental health laws need to be more restrictive. However y'all want to purchase it or do it that way. But trying to argue or debate on something that is our fundamental right is wrong. And I'm sorry, like I said yesterday, I do not need the government to save me because by the time they get here, I'm already dead and gone. So because it's 2 seconds between pulling that trigger and someone running in your house, you have to make that quick decision. What are you gonna do? So either you're gonna protect yourself, protect your home, and I don't care what laws they put on the books. Unless you can stop evilness from running rampant and criminals and actually do the bun reform, actually hold these people accountable, then you will probably see a lot safer streets, a lot of safer schools. So enforce the laws that are already on the books.
All right,
please.
Lucretia Hughes, we appreciate your time today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.